Hello everybody, this is Nolan Tech and Plains, and today we're going to do a CPU slot swap on a laptop. So I have gotten a CPU from a friend whose laptop died, and I'm going to put it in here because the sockets just happen to be compatible. In here right now I have a Pentium B940, and my friend has an i5 2520M. So I'll go from 2 GHz, 2 cores, to 2 cores with hyperthreading, 2.5 gigahertz base clock, and 3.2 gigahertz boost clock, so that's going to be very good. At this point, you should have the keyboard basically removed. So what you can do is you pull that up, and then take this and pull the little black, here, I'll get it to focus, or not. So you want to pull the little black tab up, then you can just pop that out. Set that somewhere off to the side. Then what you want to do is you want to disconnect all of these. It's going to be very easy to do this. Mine has already started popping up, but you should just be able to take this whole piece, and if I remember correctly, it seems to be stuck down in here, but I think you just pop the tabs off, and it should pop right off, all of this. Let's see. Yep, there we go. You can see here we have our motherboard with the plastic shrouding around it. So we're going to have to remove the motherboard because the processor is on the underside, and there's no way to get to it from the underside of the computer. So what you're going to want to do, is you're just going to want to take this and pull that out. That's the SD card reader. You don't need that. You also want to take this. Basically anything that's attached to the motherboard you want to remove, so that includes like plugs for the speakers right here. For now. So now what you want to do is you want to take all this plastic covering off and set that to the side. It does have adhesive on it, so it will, you're still going to need to use it. And then that's basically it. So you can see we have a motherboard here, and there's just a couple screws holding it in place because all of these are the ones we removed already. So yeah. Remove the motherboard. I think it's only this screw. So well, we'll find out, but I'm just gonna go and take this one screw out, and I think that should be the entire motherboard. So we do need to remove the disk drive to get to the motherboard. Lucky for us, it's just held in by one screw right here, so we can just take that one screw out. And there we go. So now the disk drive should slide right out. Yoink! So there we go, there's a disk drive. So now we should be able to just pull out the motherboard by lifting up here. Unless it's stuck on something right there, it seems like. Is there anything there? I think I may have to remove the hard drive to get to some other screws. Hold on. Toss it to the side. And now it's time to take the motherboard out. So, oh, it did it itself. That's interesting. There we go. Well then. So the motherboard has taken itself out, and you can see here's one connector we missed. Just pop that right up. And so now we can set the rest of the laptop off to the side and focus on the motherboard. So this is our motherboard. So right under here is the chipset, and right under there is the processor. So basically all this holding this fan on, and the heatsink here, and the whole entire assembly is just these three screws. So we can just go ahead and remove those, and we should be able to see this processor. Then we could just swap it. So yeah. So there we go. I have undone it, and I just need to undo this fan header. It should be fine, but you just pop that off, and there's the processor and Southbridge. So, or not Southbridge, the chipset. I'm smart. So let's just pop that fan header off. There we go. We could put that somewhere else. So right there is our processor and chipset, and to remove the processor, we just need to turn that little screw there to the side, and then we should be able to pop it right out. I don't have another screwdriver on me. I'm going to take the little thing that holds the disk drive in place, just stick it in there and twist it. and it seems to have worked. So now we should just be able to, yep, here we go. Okay, pop that processor out, and there you go. So that is my old processor. It's not going to focus, is it? There you go. So that's my old processor. It's based on the, I don't know what socket that is, to be honest. It's some weird socket. This is an Intel processor. It looks sort of like an AMD socket if you think about it, because it has the pins on the CPU anyways. So this is the new processor, the i5-2520M, and we're going to stick it in there, and I don't have any thermal compounds, so this will be fun. So the arrow is right there in the top corner of the socket. There you go, you can see it now. So now we just find the arrow on the corner of the CPU, like there, and we take the CPU, and we align it with that arrow, and it just sort of falls down into the socket, which is a good sign. And then you just sort of wiggle it around. Let's see. And make sure that all the pins, so you see the pins on the side aren't fitting in. That's because I didn't drop it straight down. So I gotta take it and put it back down in. And now it sits perfectly level. We get disk drive and we stick it in there. Then we turn it without scratching the die. It's a bit hard to turn during the end, and let's see, is it all the way in? Yep, it's all the way in. We are good. So now let's get that heatsink back on. You can see here there's a little imprint where the processor left in the pre-applied thermal compound. I don't have any more thermal compounds, so I'm just going to scrape this remaining stuff back onto that little bit. So there we go. Now we have a giant mountain of thermal paste in the middle, and it's basically as easy as just taking this and putting it back to the same spot right there on the chip, aligning the holes correctly. There we go. And then just tightening them down in whatever pattern you like, actually, because there's no proper way to do that with triangle, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, now we basically just reassemble it in reverse order of what we did before.
Just tell me where you wanna go. Let me take you there. You see, I've been around the globe. I've seen a lot, babe. But I wanna see what's above. I wanna see what's below. Just tell me where you wanna go. You can name the place, yeah, you can name the time. We can leave it all behind. No stop or rewind. Before we running out of time. I can see us both flying around, chilling in a pool right by the coast. I can see our clothes down on the floor. I can see it all. Maybe we should go. Get set, go, take off.
Alrighty, seems to have booted. Let's see if the fingerprint scanner works. There we go. Ta-da. So there we go. That is how you replace the processor in your laptop. Nice. This has been Nolan Tech Tips. Goodbye.
Tell me where you wanna go. You can name the place, yeah, you can name the time. We can